Hello and welcome to today's video. It's something a little bit different, but I thought while I'm waiting for some coins and that to be delivered, I could do a video on this. I think it's becoming more and more relevant as the years pass by. So, excuse me, today we're just going to have a little look at what happens to UK money when the Queen passes away. Let's, obviously all hope that it's a long, long way off. But considering that she is now 95 years old, 96 next year, 70 years on the throne, the chances are it could be reasonably, sooner than a lot of us would like. So, let's just have a little chat about this. So, at the age of 94, the Queen's reigned since 1952, with all currency issued during that time, including pre-decimal and decimal, depicting a portrait of her on it. When the Queen passes, it will be a day of mourning for millions, not only in the UK, but around the world. And there's an operation in place called London Bridge. If you Google it, there's lots of bits that you can find out about how everything else will happen. But we're concentrating on the money side of things. So when the Queen passes, not only the pound coin, but all UK currency will have to change its design to update the portrait that is shown on it. As with the Queen's father, George VI, the former King of England, a new portrait will come into circulation to be portrayed on the currency when the monarch passes. The title of King will fall to Charles, Prince of Wales. Upon receiving a crown, a new portrait will be made of Charles and the royal mint will begin issuing coins with the new design. The coins with Queen Elizabeth II's portrait will continue to be issued for the remainder of the year or perhaps longer, and after which the new portrait will come into circulation. Now, I've seen several different stories and what have you that say the new portrait of King Charles on coins would not come in until the following year. Others say that it would come in immediately, and the Elizabeth ones will continue for that year. It's pretty hard to see. I mean, my personal view is Charles has probably already sat for several portraits, and it wouldn't be at all surprised if some of your basics, your technologies, your Britannias, those kind of coins, have probably already been minted. That's just my own personal opinion. So, the latest portrait in circulation is the Jodie Clark that was issued in 2015. While technically the fourth portrait of the Queen, there are actually 5 portraits in there since she came to the throne in 1952. The first portrait, which we've done recently, known as the Mary Gillick portrait, was discontinued after decimalisation to help the new decimal currency stand out from the old currency. So similarly to how this portrait was discontinued, the same will happen to the design when the Queen passes, obviously under much more unfortunate circumstances. So they would just discontinue the latest portrait of the Queen and move on to the King. So rather than all of the current coins and notes being handed in, the process will be a gradual one, and many of the coins featuring portraits of Queen Elizabeth II will remain in circulation for many years to come. Banks and post offices will issue new design coins and notes and collect the older versions, easing the country into the new designs. Obviously, this is going to take many years to do. It'll be very similar to what happened following George VI's death in 52, although there will be one major difference, and that was that when George VI died, there was still a number of coins minted using silver, and they were all hoarded following the succession of the throne by the Queen. At this time, there's no, precious metals circulating, so there'll be less hoarding of certain coins. I'm sure you'll still get it with, some of the lower minted coins, but to a lesser degree. The practical fact of the matter is that the majority of the population will not bat an eyelid at the new designs being used, and it's probably just us coin collectors who will be eager to see what new designs await. According to the Guinness World Records, Queen Elizabeth II features on coinage of at least 35 different countries. So what will happen to them when she passes? Well, as head of the Commonwealth, the portrait of the Queen is not just used on currency in the United Kingdom, but on so many of the countries in the Commonwealth. For example, the Queen appears on the Canadian $20 bill and the Australian dollar coin. These designs will also have to change alongside the British pound, but the process will be a much more gradual one for those countries. And the main reason for that is it's much easier to enforce a new design in the country where it originates rather than other countries where different jurisdictions may take place. Some of the other countries that will be affected include Fiji, New Zealand, Cyprus and the Bahamas. There are many, many more of course, but it's just to name a few. The design of coinage and notes featuring the Queen in other countries will likely remain for years after she passes, honouring her legacy throughout the world. According to the Bank of England, there's 3.9 million banknotes currently in circulation, with a value of around £71 billion. So you can see that the task ahead is an absolutely massive task to replace them. Now, another article I was reading was saying that the design of banknotes usually changes around about every 30 years. And the next one would be due around 2030. So the likelihood is that it would just be a standard fiver that we're used to, £10 note that we're used to, with Prince Charles on it. Maybe one or two slight differences, but no major changes. Obviously, the closer we get to 2030, then the bigger chance of it being a totally new design note. But again, the notes will remain in circulation, and they will just be getting withdrawn slowly. According to the Royal Mint, there are approximately 29 billion coins in circulation in the UK. So, as I say, it's just not going to happen overnight. Just the sheer volume of them is quite mind-boggling when you think about it. So it's almost certain that the Queen is going to remain on or in coins in circulation for many, many years to come after she does pass away. And as I said, banks and post offices and those kind of things, when people and businesses are paying in money, they will endeavour to take it out of circulation. Let's just hope and pray that it's a long time away from now. So anyway, thanks very much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this, and love and respect you all. Keep yourself safe, and I'll catch you guys soon.